Hello and welcome to Business Matters, a program produced by the Middlesex West Chamber of Commerce in conjunction with ActonTV. I'm your host, Kathleen McDonald, Executive Director of the Middlesex West Chamber of Commerce. Business Matters is a program which features chamber members and highlights information important to businesses in the Middlesex West community. Today, I have the pleasure of welcoming to Business Matters Neil Gordon, Executive Director of the Discovery Museums in Acton. Welcome, Neil.
Thanks, Kathleen. Great to be here.
I'm so glad for you to be here and to hear about the Discovery Museums. I know there's a lot happening in the Discovery Museums these days, and I'm looking forward to hearing about all your exciting plans for the future as well. But let's start by backing up a little bit, and I'm wondering if you could bring us up to speed about the museum's history and how you've reached this point.
That's great. The museum was founded 30 years ago by Don Verger, who was a local math teacher who felt that the kids of the Metro West area deserved their own children's museum. So the Children's Discovery Museum was founded, and then 5 years later, the Science Discovery Museum was built as well. We've had an exciting 30, 35 years of history. The last 5 or 6 years have been particularly exciting as we've grown our membership, grown our attendance, grown our programs. And we're really kind of now on the cusp of a major growth phase as well.
That's fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit about the mission and the educational philosophy of Discovery Museums?
Sure. Our mission is really focused on supporting the natural creativity and curiosity that every child brings to their learning experiences. They're naturally inquisitive and great learners, and our goal is to support that and foster it.
It's a very simple goal, but a very profound one, isn't it?
It's a very simple thing that we just need to support what kids already know how to do and help them grow and develop based on that.
And I understand you have a new project called Discovery Woods. Can you tell me about those goals?
So Discovery Woods is a portion of a three-phased expansion of the museum overall. Discovery Woods is phase one, the goal of which is to get kids back outdoors in a much more accessible and inclusive environment. It's nature-based play, all designed to be fully inclusive, and a tree house as a centerpiece of it, also which is fully accessible. It's a pretty exciting space, and the work on that has moved apace, and we hope that Discovery Woods will open as early as late this June.
Wow.
The other phases of the master plan include a major renovation and expansion of the Science Discovery Building that will allow us to consolidate all of our audience into one building. We'll provide a lot of visitor amenities that we don't currently have, like a food option and better bathrooms. And importantly, it will be a much more accessible and inclusive space overall. The emphasis on access as part of the Discovery Museums is an important part of our overall mission, which is, it's a pretty simple idea if you think about it. We feel like we're good for kids, and therefore we should be good for all kids. And as a result, we have a number of programs that provide free or highly subsidized access. So last year, out of the 170,000 people we served, about a full 26%, over 44,000 people came to the museum either completely free or highly subsidized. A good example of it, for example, is we have free Friday nights. Every summer night we're open, summer night we're open for free. And during the school year, the first Friday of every month, completely free to the public.
That's wonderful. That's really great. And anything more you want to tell us about the expanded museum building that we'll anticipate enjoying?
There'll be some great new exhibits in that space. A couple of the key exhibits include a maker space that's called Da Vinci's Workshop that celebrates the interesting life of and skills of Da Vinci, who was an artist, an inventor, and a scientist. We think that's an important message for kids to hear, that you can be all of those things. And then two exhibits that are focused on a couple of issues that we think are important for kids and parents. One is called Brain Building Zone, that is for infants and toddlers, 0 to 3, and is about the things that parents can do to support early brain development. The first 3 years of children's lives are the most critical, and that
yes.
exhibit will focus on those things. And another exhibit called Yes, It's Math, which takes on one of the great barriers to kids being great math doers, which is math anxiety. So our goal with that exhibit will be to find all of the fun things in math and surprise people that what they're doing is math.
Like Pi Day
Like
and
Pi
those kind
Day,
of things.
exactly.
That's exciting. How about programs that are specifically for the parents? Any of those?
Well, the Discovery Museum, half of our audience is by definition parents. Every kid pretty much comes with an adult or some form of caregiver, progressively grandparents. So everything that we do is focused on parents in a sense because we're trying to support their role as the first teachers of children. Specifically, we've offered 4 years now of Discovery Museum Speaker Series, which is evening events only for adults, focused on topics of relevance to parents and the development of their children, ranging from youth philanthropy to early brain development, a whole host of great topics. Been highly attended, very supportive programs for adults.
That's great to know. That's excellent. Back in 2011, Discovery Museums were honored with the Nonprofit of the Year Award by the Middlesex West Chamber. And I'm curious, as a nonprofit organization, how do you benefit from the membership in the Chamber?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. The Chamber Award was a great thing for the museum to be amongst the other great nonprofits that are in the area, and the visibility of that is crucial and important to us. But as a Chamber member, we're able to find great partners in the community by the networking events that the Chamber provides. It's a great opportunity for us to talk about what we do and understand what businesses do and find the points of intersection. And we've been very fortunate that we found a number of those. One business, for example, Idlewild Farms, is a supporter of our speaker series that provides free food for all the people who come and visit. It makes it a fun and more enjoyable evening. We have a little bit of food, a little bit of drink, and a chance for people to discuss the topics that we're working on. The Chamber is a great place for us to network.
That's great. That's wonderful. And tell us a little bit more about these business partnerships that you have in the community.
Well, our partnerships range from business relationships that are about them being supporters of the museum. There are sponsorship relationships that we have with businesses where we each benefit. We get support from our programs to help keep them free and accessible, and the businesses get access to our audience and visibility and get to tell the world a little bit about their programs. Our membership program, museum membership program, we offer through local businesses discounts. It's an opportunity, again, a co-marketing opportunity, if you will, with those local businesses. So we're really very fortunate. As I mentioned, the access program that we talked about before is only made possible by the support of organizations and businesses. Middlesex Savings Bank, for example, has been a premier sponsor of Free Friday nights for the last several years.
So important are our connections and interconnections with each other as businesses and as people in our communities. Can you cite what you consider to be some of the keys to your success as Discovery Museums move forward into their new phase of development?
Well, as you mentioned, the support of the community is utmost in the success of any nonprofit. We really are a creature of our community. We're owned by the community. So having the community from the day Don Berger had the idea all the way through the support of this capital campaign has been really very crucial. The second thing that makes us successful, I must say, is the incredible staff that the Discovery Museum has been able to attract through a commitment to early STEM education, through early learning, through a commitment to play. We've attracted staff members who are committed to those same values. They've stayed with us for a number of years, and we've been very, very fortunate to make that successful. And then lastly, and part of the community is we've been very supportive, had a local board of people in the community who have come together for many years to make it possible. We've had great leadership on our board, helped us build the organization, is helping us with this incredible capital campaign we're in the midst of. Because of our commitment to early STEM education, we've been very fortunate for the last 20 plus years to run a program called Traveling Science Workshops that brings hands-on classroom-based science into elementary schools. Last year, we were in 1,400 classrooms, reached over 29,000 kids in their classroom.
Wonderful.
With true science experiences, which are have sort of diminished over time in the elementary school classroom. So we're providing something that kids might not otherwise get. I think that's the scale of that, the scope of that is something that most people don't know about the museum.
No, and I think that that's a very important thing to be very proud of and to promote.
We're
That's
incredibly
wonderful.
excited about it.
That's excellent. Well, thank you again very much for sharing your wonderful success story, and wish you much success as you go
Thank you.
forward, Bessie and all.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Neil. Just a few reminders. Please don't forget to reserve your place for the Chamber's annual meeting luncheon that's taking place on Tuesday, April 12th from 12 to 2. It's hosted by the Westford Regency Inn and Conference Center. Investigative reporter and noted author Hank Philippi Ryan will be the guest speaker. Tickets are going quickly, so we would suggest that you please register today. For more details, check out the Chamber's website at www.mwcoc.com or call the Chamber office at 978-263-0010. Also, coming up in May, the Chamber will be hosting Congresswoman Nikki Tsongas, who will be offering a legislative update for Massachusetts businesses. More details can also be found on our website and also by calling the office. After a brief break, we'll be back with our second Chamber member from Emerson Hospital.
At Keep Massachusetts Beautiful, we're working to inspire volunteers to help us clean up the vast amounts of litter that detract from the beauty of our great state. If litter along roadways, beaches, and public spaces bugs you, I urge you to get out with your neighbors, friends, family, and coworkers and join the Great Massachusetts Cleanup. This year's cleanup will take place in communities across the state on Saturday, April 23rd, and on other weekends during the months of April and May. At this time, we are seeking volunteers who will step up and lead litter cleanups in communities across the state. Our goal is to mobilize 10,000 volunteers to give Massachusetts a thorough spring cleaning. If you are interested in organizing a litter cleanup in your community or simply want to participate in a local cleanup event, please visit keepmassbeautiful.org to register your event or sign up as a volunteer. Thank you, and I hope to see you at this year's Great Massachusetts Cleanup.
Welcome back to Business Matters. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming to Business Matters Christine Gallery, who is the Senior Vice President of Planning and Chief Strategy Officer at Emerson Hospital. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you so much for having me, Kathleen.
Oh, you're most welcome. Tell me a little bit about your background and your longevity at Emerson.
Yes, I'm happy to do so. So I've been at Emerson for 20 years. I started in 1996. And my role there is primarily in thinking about the strategy for the hospital, so strategic planning, but also encompasses business development, clinical program development, physician recruitment, so really anything that has to do with the growth of the organization. So my projects have included starting the outpatient centers in Westford and Groton and Sudbury, the many new physicians that we've added to the medical staff over the past 20 years, and new clinical programs like our surgical weight loss program, our wound care program, and others. So that's marketing, PR, that all comes under me, as well as our health and wellness program.
What a fantastic career you've had at the hospital.
Thank you.
How
It's
wonderful.
been a wonderful place to work.
Excellent, excellent. Tell me now, what is the overall vision for the hospital itself?
Yeah, absolutely. So we take a look at our vision at regular intervals when we're looking at our strategy and redoing our strategic plan. So about 18 months ago, our board and our senior leadership really undertook a good look at the environment and what's going on in our very dynamic marketplace locally, regionally, nationally. And we've embraced a new vision for the hospital. And one of the sort of key aha moments for us is when we realized, being a hospital is our core business, but it's not our only business. We are not just in the hospital business anymore. We are in the healthcare business, that we actually care for people in our community, not just when they are sick, but also when they're well. So not when they're necessarily within the four walls of the hospital being cared for with an episode of care, a procedure, a treatment, but we very much care about people before they get to us and after they leave us. So emphasizing prevention of disease or sickness, maintaining wellness, and then if you do have the unfortunate event of being a patient and having an illness or an episode, after you leave us, we want there to be full recovery and a maintenance of wellness. So we absolutely embrace this sort of continuum of care. We think about our patients not just as patients, but as whole people with whole lives before they get to us and after they leave.
It's the whole spectrum of health,
Absolutely,
isn't it? Yeah.
yes. And that's part of our vision, is to really improve the health status of the communities we serve.
And so we're going to focus specifically on one new aspect, which is the Wellness Center for Mind and Body.
Yes.
And what specifically is that vision?
Absolutely. So we have an actual center for wellness, and it's located at 310 Baker Ave, so about a mile away from the hospital. And it's actually, it started out years ago, actually, as a collection of programs that were sort of nice to have, and we, added a few things as time went on. And then a few years ago, and particularly with the adoption of this new vision, we really decided we needed to have a discrete service line that has to do with wellness. So we opened the Center for Wellness out on Baker Ave, and we have beautiful classrooms and education rooms. And we realize that that's a key part of our overarching vision. So our vision for the center is to have it continue to grow as it has been over the past few years, and we've seen a wonderful rate of growth in terms of the number of classes we offer and the number of people availing themselves of those classes. We have about 1,200 people a year that take classes there, and we have over 100 different types of classes. So our vision is to really grow that and to really think about how is it that we're serving the populations in terms of wellness, and also in terms of people who might have gone through some of our clinical services, how can we help them recover? Or if they're struggling with a chronic condition, how can we really complement their care by their physician with other things?
Excellent vision. Tell me a little bit about the instructors who teach your classes.
Yeah, we have wonderful instructors. So we have some instructors that are known not just locally, but nationally and internationally. For instance, Dr. Ming Wu, who teaches our Tai Chi and Qigong and some of our natural remedies classes. We also have Suzanne Liebig, who's been just a committed and wonderful instructor. She teaches our Parkinson movement for Parkinson's class, for instance. She has a wonderful following. So we really have some excellent instructors, as well as some of our own staff. I mentioned that we have some of our physical therapists and exercise physiologists who teach classes on sports conditioning and other types of conditioning programs. So they're great, and everyone who teaches in the center is certified. We check them out. We assure that they're reputable and they know what they're talking about. So we have a very high threshold for who we work with in terms of teaching in the center.
And the quality of instructor is so important, because then you repeat people coming to attend your classes and referring the Wellness Center for Mind and Body to others.
Absolutely.
It's very vital.
There's a real attachment, especially with the kinds of classes that we have, like yoga and the Tai Chi, and some of the classes on weight loss, and particularly the classes on mindfulness, stress reduction. There's a lot of meditation components to it. People form a lot of attachments to their instructors. That's a really important hour, an hour and a half to them on a weekly basis, where they really feel that there's a connection and that instructor is really making a difference for them and teaching them really important skills and helping them move in different ways than they might be used to, or to think about a problem or an issue. We have self-help and support groups, and certainly a lot of connections are formed with the those instructors. So it's really important.
Wonderful, just
Yes.
wonderful. And tell me, how would one, after you register, how does one go about attending classes? How does that
So
work?
it's important to note that the center is actually not at the hospital, not on the hospital's campus. It's located in Concord at 310 Baker Ave, so just about a mile or so away from the hospital. And we have a lovely facility there with a beautiful studio and an education classroom. And we have grown so much and have gotten so busy that we actually need more space. So we have plans, hopefully next year, that we are going to move into larger space and add more studio space, more classrooms, and some private treatment rooms for things like meditation and acupuncture. And we hope that would also be at Baker Ave, so the same building, just a different location within the building. But we're hoping that by the end of 2017 that we would have a greatly expanded center.
So tell me, what are the types of classes that are offered at the Wellness Center?
Yeah, so we have classes in the category of exercise and movement, weight loss, healthy eating, lots of stress management classes, mindfulness-based classes. Those are very popular. We have classes for kids and teens, prenatal classes, more of a sports focus, conditioning classes for golf and running. So we have classes for specific chronic conditions like Parkinson's disease, so many, many different types of classes.
And how do you generate ideas for your classes?
Yeah, good question. So some of them come from the community, from what we're hearing out there. Sometimes we get approached by various instructors or educators who are saying, you know, I have developed this certain program or this certain, routine or type of yoga, and I, like to offer it. So, we get ideas from people who come to us. Sometimes it's our own employees. Some of our physical therapists, for instance, teach classes at the center, and they come up with great ideas. Like we had a therapist who came up with an idea for a whole class on appropriate posture and alignment and how important that is. So they really come from everywhere. And then, sort of what's popular. Right now, bar classes are very popular, Pilates, bar yoga. So we're doing those kinds of classes as well.
So you're really trying to meet the needs of the community in every way possible.
The needs and the interests of the community. We want there to be something for everybody because we know that the more that we offer, the more of an opportunity we will have to have touch points with people. So things for children, teenagers, moms, new moms, people who may not feel comfortable going to a traditional gym, for instance, and doing a yoga class or a Zumba class, but they feel comfortable doing it there. So we really want to be able to offer enough for everybody.
So in terms of offering a spectrum of classes, what age ranges do you focus on for your classes?
Nearly every age range. We start at 2.5.
Oh, wow.
And go all the way up until you feel well enough to take one of our classes. So we really something for everybody.
That's great. That's great. And you've really given some wonderful examples of the different classes that you offer. What are some of the classes that are offered here through Emerson Hospital's Wellness Center that we can't find anywhere else?
Oh, well, there's many of them. So, of course, yoga is very popular, right? And you feel like you can find yoga at almost any studio. So we offer yoga, but we offer 8 different types of yoga. So we have adaptive yoga for people who may have mobility issues or some kind of disability where they can't do traditional poses. We have yoga for people with arthritis. We have Mom and Me yoga. So all different types of yoga. We have a wonderful, very popular movement class for people with Parkinson's, a special exercise class with people with arthritis, and then we have a great weight loss program that really focuses on fixing your metabolism. So some very unique classes. Some of our most popular classes are actually those that have to do with more traditional Chinese healing. Some classes, very, very popular Tai Chi, and Qigong and Tongray, extremely popular.
Interesting, very interesting. So from many, many different traditions and modalities.
Absolutely. We embrace it all.
Great. I know as parents, we start thinking about summer plans early.
Yes.
And will there be programs offered for children?
So our classes go on all year long, including the summer. And some of the things that are more specific to kids are the kickboxing classes that we have for children starting as young as 3.5,
My goodness.
for middle schoolers, for teenagers, and then for others. We have a Zumba class for specific to teenagers. We have a babysitting training class. We have a girl power class. It's for young girls that incorporates not only exercise and strength, but also there's a lot of discussion about what it means to be a girl and empowering yourself. So we have lots of different programs for kids that take place throughout the year.
How wonderful. Tell me, when does the spring semester start?
So many of our classes just kind of keep going,
Okay.
so you can sign up for them anytime. But we do add what we call our semesters in the spring semester, which starts in April. We do kind of change up some of the classes and we try new things.
And how does one register for the classes?
So we encourage people to register online, which would be emersonwellness.org, or you could call 978-287-3777. We do mail out the calendar, which explains what the classes are. It has a great description. It tells you how to register. This gets mailed out every semester to about 36,000 households.
Excellent.
You can also find it on the website, the full calendar. So you can get all sorts of information. I've given you a little bit of an overview, but they're really interesting classes and there's so many of them. I couldn't possibly list them all.
Wonderful innovation and wonderful serving of the community.
Yes.
I commend you and commend Emerson Hospital for this tremendous innovation in wellness. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. And Emerson Hospital is here for the community. Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much for watching Business Matters, and we look forward to our next broadcast in May. Thank you so much. The Middlesex West Chamber of Commerce would like to acknowledge and thank our broadcast sponsors, Emerson Hospital and the Westford Regency Inn and Conference Center.